In a world of financial noise, let's find the signal. Welcome to Smart Money Sense. On September 21st, 2025, the world of defense technology was rocked by a single announcement. Lockheed Martin's legendary Skunk Works division, the masterminds behind icons like the F-117 Nighthawk and the F-22 Raptor, pulled the curtain back on a project that had been shrouded in absolute secrecy. It's called Vectis, and it's not just a new drone. It's a multi-billion-dollar bet that could redefine the future of aerial combat and, more importantly for us, potentially create massive waves for Lockheed Martin stock. But in a market already crowded with disruptive players, is Vectis a game changer or a desperate gamble? Today, we're doing a full Vectis drone financial impact analysis to find out. We'll break down the tech, the competition, the market size, and answer the one question on every investor's mind. Is this an opportunity to get in on the ground floor of the next big defense revolution? Stick around, because the answer is more complex than you think. So, what exactly happened? Lockheed Martin dropped a press release that sent shockwaves through the defense and financial communities. They unveiled Vectis, a sleek, menacing, and highly advanced autonomous aircraft designed to fly alongside crewed fighter jets. This wasn't just a concept. Lockheed announced that parts were already being ordered, with a target for its first flight within just 2 years. This is a huge deal. For years, the Pentagon has been talking about the Collaborative Combat Aircraft Program, or CCA. The vision is to build a massive fleet of over 1,000 uncreamed wingmen to support the Air Force's piloted fighters. We're talking about a program with a budget of over $800 million for fiscal year 2026 alone, and a total market value that could easily swell into the tens of billions over the next decade. Until now, Lockheed had been surprisingly quiet on the CCA front, leading many analysts to wonder if they were falling behind. This announcement changes everything. It's Lockheed Martin planting its flag firmly in the ground, declaring they are not just in the race, but they intend to win it. But to understand the true Vectis drone financial impact, we first need to understand what this machine really is. Let's be clear, calling Vectis a drone is like calling an F-35 a plane. It's technically true, but it misses the entire point. Vectis is a Group 5 CCA, the highest and most capable category. This isn't a small surveillance drone. It's a large, jet-powered, and highly autonomous combat aircraft designed for survivability in the most contested airspaces on the planet. Skunk Works is leveraging its decades of experience in stealth technology. Think of the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II. That same DNA is being baked into Vectis. The goal is to create an aircraft that can penetrate deep into enemy territory, acting as a sensor, a jammer, or even a weapons platform, all while being incredibly difficult to detect. One of the smartest things Lockheed seems to be doing here is building Vectis on an open architecture. Why is this important from a financial perspective? It means Vectis is designed to work with a wide range of systems and platforms, not just Lockheed's own F-35. This dramatically increases its potential market. It's a strategic move to avoid vendor lock-in, making it a more attractive option for the Air Force, which wants flexibility. But here's the kicker: affordability. Lockheed is promising best-in-class survivability at a price point that allows for mass production. This is the holy grail for the CCA program, an aircraft that is capable enough to be effective, but cheap enough to be attritable, meaning the Air Force can afford to lose some in combat without breaking the bank. If they can nail this balance, the financial upside is enormous. Before we get into the dollars and cents, I want to hear from you. Do you think a legacy company like Lockheed Martin can truly innovate, or will they be outmaneuvered by newer, more agile startups? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights help us all get smarter, and if you're finding this analysis valuable, take a second to hit that like button. It tells YouTube you're enjoying the content and helps our channel reach more people. To understand the Vectis drone financial impact, you have to appreciate the sheer scale of this emerging market. The military drone market is already exploding, projected to grow from around $24 billion in 2025 to over $51 billion by 2032. But the CCA market is a niche within that, and it's where the real high-margin growth is expected. Market research firms project the global CCA market to hit $736 million in 2025, but then to skyrocket at a compound annual growth rate of over 14% through the next decade. Some estimates put the market at $1.6 billion by 2030. This isn't a small opportunity. It's a paradigm shift in military aviation, and the companies that win these early contracts will dominate the field for decades. The U.S. Air Force has made it clear that the CCA program is a top priority. They plan to acquire over 1,000 of these autonomous wingmen to augment their fleet of F-35s and the upcoming 6th-generation NGAD fighter. With initial budget requests pointing towards hundreds of millions per year just for research and development, the production contracts will be in the multi-billions. And here's a critical detail. The Air Force is planning multiple increments of the CCA program. Increment 2 is expected to be even more advanced and 20 to 30% more expensive than the first. Lockheed's Vectis appears to be targeting these future, more advanced increments. By self-funding Vectis now, they are positioning themselves to have a mature, flight-tested platform ready to go when the really big money contracts are awarded. It's a long-term play, a strategic investment of their own capital to de-risk the technology for the government, making them a much more attractive partner. Now, Lockheed Martin isn't entering an empty arena. This is a battle of titans, both old and new. The competition is fierce, and this is where the risk in our Vectis drone financial impact analysis comes into sharp focus. First, you have the other defense giants. Boeing is already in the game with its MQ-28 Ghostbat, which has been undergoing flight tests and demonstrations in the U.S. Northrop Grumman, another stealth aircraft expert, is also heavily involved, particularly with the Navy's CCA efforts. And then there's General Atomics, a longtime leader in the drone space. But the biggest threat might come from a new direction: Anduril Industries. Founded by tech wunderkind Palmer Luckey, Anduril is a venture capital-backed defense tech startup that has been winning major contracts by moving faster and more efficiently than the legacy players. Anduril and General Atomics are already building prototypes for the Air Force's first CCA increment. Anduril's entire philosophy is built on AI and software, a fundamentally different approach from the hardware-first mentality of traditional defense contractors. They represent a genuine disruption, and they cannot be underestimated. This competitive pressure is a major headwind for Lockheed Martin. The company has also had some recent stumbles. In the second quarter of 2025, they recorded a staggering $1.6 billion loss on a different classified aeronautics program. That kind of news makes investors nervous about program execution and cost overruns. It raises the question, can Lockheed deliver a cutting-edge program like Vectis on time and on budget, especially with nimble competitors nipping at their heels? All right, let's put this all together and talk about the stock. What is the bull and bear case for Lockheed Martin, ticker LMT, following the Vectis announcement? The bull case is compelling. Lockheed Martin is trading around $470 a share, with a market cap of about $110 billion. The stock has had a rough year, down about 16%, and has been lagging behind some of its peers. The Vectis announcement could be the exact catalyst needed to change that narrative. The bull argument goes like this: Vectis proves that Skunk is still at the top of its game. By successfully entering the multi-billion-dollar CCA market, Lockheed can diversify its revenue away from its heavy reliance on the F-35 program. If Vectis wins a significant portion of the CCA contracts, we are talking about a new, stable, multi-billion-dollar revenue stream for years to come. Analysts have price targets as high as $610, and some long-term models even project the stock could reach over $900 by 2030. For a bull, Vectis is the key that unlocks that future growth. Now, for the bear case. The bears will point directly to that $1.6 billion loss as evidence of execution risk. They'll argue that self-funding a project like Vectis is a massive capital expenditure with no guaranteed return. What if the Air Force chooses a different platform? What if Anduril's cheaper software-first approach wins out? Lockheed could be left holding the bag on a very expensive science project. Bears will also highlight the intense competition. With Boeing, Northrop, General Atomics, and Anduril all fighting for a piece of the pie, the margins on these CCA contracts could be thinner than expected. The risk is that even if Vectis is successful, it might not be as profitable as the bulls hope. For the bears, the Vectis drone financial impact is a big question mark, and the stock is still weighed down by recent performance issues. So, will it pay off? The answer hinges on one word: execution. The technology behind Vectis seems sound. Leveraging their stealth and fifth-generation fighter expertise is a massive advantage. The strategy of using an open architecture and targeting affordability is exactly what the Air Force wants to hear. The market is undeniably large and growing. All the ingredients for success are on the table. The challenge will be delivering a finished product within that aggressive 2-year timeline without the cost overruns that have plagued other advanced defense programs. They need to prove they can innovate at the speed of a startup like Anduril while maintaining the quality and reliability of a prime contractor. If you are investing in LMT, this is the story you are buying into. You are betting that the engineering prowess of Skunk Works will overcome the bureaucratic inertia that can sometimes slow down a company of Lockheed's size. You are betting that their deep relationships with the Pentagon and their unmatched experience in integrating complex systems will ultimately give them an edge over the competition. And before we get to our final verdict, if you're serious about building your financial sense and want more deep dives like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We post new analyses every week, and you don't want to miss the signals and the noise. So, what's the final verdict on the Vectis drone financial impact? The announcement of Vectis is, without a doubt, a significant positive catalyst for Lockheed Martin. It reestablishes the company as a key innovator in the critical, high-growth market of autonomous combat aircraft. It directly addresses investor concerns about the company's future growth pipeline beyond the F-35. However, the path forward is fraught with risk. Execution on the program is paramount, and the competition is more formidable than ever. This is not a short-term trade. The real financial impact of Vectis won't be felt for at least 2 to 3 years, when we see if the aircraft meets its performance goals and starts winning contracts. For a long-term investor, Vectis turns Lockheed Martin from a stable, dividend-paying value stock into a potential growth story as well. The key things to watch will be the first flight in 2027 and the contract awards for the Air Force's CCA Increment 2. Now you have a clearer picture of the financial stakes behind Lockheed's new drone. But I want to know what you think. Is this the move that takes LMT to new highs, or is it too little too late? Leave a comment below with your biggest question or takeaway. And if you're ready for the next topic, click the video on your screen now. Subscribe to join the conversation. See you in the comments.